is College of Scam installment 4. Now, if you haven't seen 1, 2, and 3, they're on the channel. You can go back there. And basically, they just kind of bring us up to where we were at. I call this episode the graduation because this is the time that I finally graduate from UCF, right? 5.5 years it took me to get one of the easiest 4-year degrees on planet Earth, but I digress. It was still an exciting time because this is what everybody told me that I had to do. Right? Everybody that fed me into the machine when I was 17 and told me this is what you've got to do. I'm finally there, baby. This is good. So all of us are graduating. Let's say it's on a Friday afternoon, doesn't really matter. We're all hanging out that weekend. We're college graduates, and we just know Monday morning that phone is going to be ringing. There's going to be so many companies that are going to call us and congratulate us and explain to us that they would love to have us on their team and pay us a bunch of money. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have to pick and choose which companies we want to work for. And if they're not calling us, it's going to be the university calling us saying, hey, all these companies are calling us looking for qualified people, and we gave them your name. That is going to be awesome. Never happened. Not at all. Monday morning, phone was not ringing. Now, we didn't have email and social media back then, so the phone was the only way to get in touch with people. Tuesday, no phone. Wednesday, the rest of the week. 2 weeks went by, a month went by, a year went by. And finally, after a couple of weeks, you realize you're like, oh, perhaps I need to go out there and try to find something too. Okay, I get it. That's on me. But I wasn't the only dummy that graduated college under such, just under the pretenses that the carpet was going to be rolled out for us when we were done. And it wasn't, all right? And I'm not mad at anybody about that, but they did. They put us through the machine, and it was all good, spit us out, and basically I'm sitting there going, man, I applied for jobs. I went all over the place, and I realized that degree was not really all that good. It was more like a certificate of attendance at best, and I figured that out. Now, fortunately, at that time, I was working in downtown Orlando at a place called Church Street Station. Probably a lot of you, if you're watching this, you probably heard about that. Cheyenne Saloon specifically. I worked on the first floor slinging cocktails, right? And that was a cutthroat table waiting group because you didn't share tips. I mean, it was nasty and brutal, but boy, when it worked, you could make some good cash. So fortunately, I was working along with that, and so I was getting by. I wasn't starving. But if I was waiting any longer for the job to come find me, and I mean, that was the lesson, I guess. The lesson was the jobs don't come find you. So yeah, maybe I did. I learned that in college. Because people will say, well, Matt, you figured out maybe that you could be a decent public speaker. No, I was speaking that way in high school. I used that as the ticket out of college. So I think the only thing I learned was that either I should have gotten a better degree other than organizational communication. No offense to anybody with an organizational communications degree, but that was so easy to get. And I just want to say this. The whole reason of doing this video is because I know there are so many people, and if I got a lot of friends that are probably going to watch this that have kids that are at that age, and it's such an unsure age, and it's fun. The parties are fun, but the reality is tough because a lot of times you get in a point in life and you're like, what am I doing? Earlier, I mentioned spinning my wheels, going nowhere, being very upset about that. And then finally, something catches and you get out. Now, in hindsight, having the job at Church Street Station was one of the things that was really a catalyst to my future and really played into what I'm doing now. I could have had that job at Church Street 4 years prior. So I could have been doing, I mean, not really, but I could have been doing everything now 4 years earlier. Listen, things happen for a reason, and the timing and all of that. I understand all that, and things are pretty good now. Church Street, that's a totally different thing of videos as far as entrepreneurship and business and all of that. I have one more funny video about my time at UCF, and it has nothing to do, it's not even real serious, but it does play into the money machine of college and how they sort of prey on young people unexpectedly. And that'll be the next video, and then that's going to be it for this whole college thing. It's been fun kind of reminiscing over that. And again, if you're going through a tough time, just don't give up. Just figure out the way to get through it. That's all you got to do. And talk to people. There's always people that will listen to you. So don't ever get so discouraged that you don't think anybody will listen to you, all right? Don't think that. And we'll check in with you on those videos coming up. Again, the next one is just kind of something funny. And I'm just curious if anybody else noticed it when they were going to UCF or any other college around the country. So any comments, questions, whatever. If you disagree with everything I said, that's awesome. Throw it in the comments section and we can kind of talk about this. That's where everything stems from, is good conversation. So, all right, guys, it's been fun. One more college video coming up shortly.